The night rain had stopped, but the streets of Lagos still glistened under the dim orange glow of streetlights. Moses Afolayan, a 32-year-old investigative journalist, sat in his car outside a crumbling warehouse by the lagoon. His recorder was on, his notepad open, and his heart beating fast. He had received an anonymous tip the previous night. If you want to uncover the truth about the missing counselor, come to Wharf Road at midnight. Come alone. He came. Inside the warehouse, the smell of salt and rust filled the air. Broken glass littered the ground. Moses' flashlight flickered as he took careful steps. Then he saw it, a body. A man lay face down, half submerged in a pool of water. Moses froze. He knew that face. It was Counselor Chuka, the same man whose disappearance had made headlines for weeks. Before he could react, a sound echoed. Footsteps, slow and heavy. Someone else was there. Moses turned off his flashlight and hid behind a rusted container. Two men walked in, both wearing dark raincoats. One of them spoke in a low, commanding tone. "We told him to keep quiet. Now look what he made us do," the voice said. The second man sighed. "What about the journalist? You think he got the message?" Moses' pulse quickened. They were talking about him. Suddenly, a phone rang, loud and sharp. Both men turned toward the sound. Moses' phone. He had forgotten to silence it. He bolted for the exit. Gunshots followed. A bullet grazed his arm, but he didn't stop. He ran into the night, into the rain, into the shadows. By morning, Lagos was buzzing. News spread fast. Counselor Chuka found dead at the docks. Moses patched up his wound and sat in his office, replaying the audio from his recorder. A faint whisper came through, something he hadn't noticed before the chaos. "Tell her, the file is in the blue envelope." But who was her? Moses opened his laptop and began typing his next headline. "The Counselor's Secret, a murder the city wants you to forget." And just as he hit save, his office phone rang. "Mr. Afolayan," a female voice said coldly, "you should stop digging before we finish what we started." The newsroom was unusually quiet that morning. The air smelled of stale coffee and fear everyone had heard about Moses' late-night escape at the docks, except they didn't know the full story. Moses sat at his desk, staring at the blood-stained bandage on his arm. His phone buzzed again, a message from an unknown number. "Check your inbox. You're in deeper than you think." He opened his email. There was a single attachment, a photograph. It showed Counselor Chuka, smiling, standing beside a woman in a red dress. The background looked like the lobby of a luxury hotel. But what caught Moses' attention wasn't the woman's face. It was the ring on her finger. The same gold ring with a snake emblem he had seen on one of the men at the warehouse. Moses leaned closer. "Who are you?" he whispered. Later that day, he drove to the Golden Crest Hotel, the one from the photo. The receptionist hesitated when Moses showed his press ID. "Sorry, sir, we don't discuss our guests," she said quickly. He smiled faintly. "Then maybe you can discuss your CCTV footage." The woman froze. Before she could answer, a man in a black suit approached. His badge read Security Supervisor. "Mr. Moses," he said calmly, "we were told you might come. Please follow me." They led him through the lobby, down a long corridor, and into a small office. Then the man locked the door. "You should stop asking questions about the woman in the red dress," he said. "People who do don't last long." Moses kept his voice steady. "Then maybe you can. Tell me why a counselor ended up dead in a warehouse after meeting her." The man didn't answer. Instead, he slid a small flash drive across the table. "Take it. Don't open it here. And if anyone asks where you got it, you never met me." Back at his apartment, Moses inserted the flash drive into his laptop. A single video file appeared. He clicked play. Grainy footage filled the screen. It showed Counselor Chuka and the same woman in red, sitting in a private dining room. The sound was low, but the words were clear enough. Chuka, if the file leaks, we're finished. The minister will have my head. Woman, then make sure no one ever finds it. Suddenly, there was a loud knock on Moses' door, 3 sharp bangs. He froze. Another message flashed on his phone screen. They found you. He unplugged the flash drive and tucked it into his shoe. As he turned toward the back exit, the door burst open. Men in dark suits stormed in. One of them pointed at him. Where's the drive? Moses' laptop screen still glowed, showing a paused frame of the woman in red, her face half hidden, but her eyes cold and calculating. He whispered to himself, now I know why they killed him. Then he jumped through the window into the rain-soaked alley below. The city never truly slept, but that night, Lagos felt quieter than usual. Moses sat in a dimly lit cafe near Yoba, his jacket soaked from the rain. His eyes darted between the door and the flash drive hidden in his shoe. Every shadow outside looked like danger. He replayed the counselor's last words in his mind. Tell her, the file is in the blue envelope. Who was her? Was it the woman in the red dress or someone else entirely? As Tunde sipped his cold coffee, a figure slid into the seat opposite him. It was Amoka, his former colleague, and the only person he trusted. You look like you haven't slept in days, she said softly. I've been running, he replied. And I found something big. The counselor's murder isn't random. It's connected to the ministry. Amoka frowned. Ministry of what? Housing and Urban Development, he said. There's talk of land fraud, offshore accounts, and missing billions. Moses handed her the flash drive. This video connects a counselor to someone higher up, a woman. But I still don't know her name. Amoka's eyes widened. Wait, a woman in red. I think I've seen her. That's Dr. Lydia Onabanjo, the minister's personal advisor. Moses froze. The same advisor who had publicly condemned the counselor's disappearance weeks ago. Before they could speak further, the cafe lights flickered. A loud bang followed. The front window shattered. Bullets. Down, Amoka screamed. They ducked as glass rained down. To masked men stormed in, firing. Moses grabbed Amoka's hand, pulling her toward the back exit. In the chaos, he heard one of the gunmen shout, "Get the journalist. The file must not leave the city." They ran into the back alley, disappearing into the dark. Hours later, they found refuge in an abandoned newspaper printing house, one that used to belong to the Vanguard Weekly, now shut down. Amoka connected the flash drive to her laptop, scanning through its contents. Inside a hidden folder, they found documents labeled blue envelope, confidential. Moses' heartbeat quickened as he opened the file. Inside were scanned letters, bank statements, and an official government memo titled Project Renewal Classified. It detailed a massive land acquisition project meant to revitalize rural communities, but the money trail led to private accounts overseas, signed off by the minister himself. And at the bottom of the memo, in bold signature, was a name that froze Moses' blood. Dr. Lydia Onabanjo. They used fake projects to launder billions, Amoka whispered. And when the counselor tried to expose them, they silenced him. Before Moses could respond, a voice echoed from behind. Smart of you to find it, but foolish to think you can live to tell it. They turned. Standing by the doorway, dressed in black, was Dr. Lydia Onabanjo herself, holding a pistol. You journalists never learn, she said calmly. Delete the files, hand me the drive, and maybe I'll let you walk out. Moses stared at her, trembling but defiant. You killed Chuka. You murdered him to bury the truth. She smiled coldly. No, Mr. Afolayan, I saved the country from chaos. Some truths are better left buried. Then she cocked the gun. A sharp noise cut through the tension, sirens in the distance. Lydia's expression shifted. They found me, she hissed. Then she fired once before fleeing into the night. Moses fell to the floor. The bullet missed, grazing his shoulder. A mucker helped him up as police lights flashed through the shattered windows. As paramedics treated Tunde, a police officer approached him. "We'll need that flash drive, sir," the officer said. Moses hesitated. Something felt off. The officer's uniform badge had a small snake emblem, the same one from the ring. He forced a weak smile. "Of course, officer. I'll bring it tomorrow." When the officer left, Moses turned to a mocker. "They're everywhere. We can't trust anyone." A mocker nodded, clutching the flash drive. "Then we take this to someone who can't be bought." Moses looked out at the flashing sirens and the city beyond. "Moses, we're not just chasing a story anymore," he said. "We're fighting a system." The city's skyline shimmered with morning haze. But for Moses Afolayan, there was no peace in the daylight anymore. He and a mocker were now fugitives, hunted by those who wanted to keep. Project Renewal buried forever. They moved between safe houses, using old press contacts and backstreets. The flash drive, now encrypted, contained enough evidence to destroy careers and expose murderers, but only if they could survive long enough to publish it. At dawn, they met a source in a quiet church in Surulere, a priest who once served as the minister's financial consultant before leaving government work. Father Dominic handed Moses a sealed envelope. "Inside is a copy of the minister's offshore transaction trail," he said. "It proves he and Dr. Onabanjo moved over 12 billion naira through fake rehabilitation contracts." A mocker frowned. "Why help us? They could kill you." The priest's voice was calm but weary. "Because my silence cost a good man his life. Counselor Chuka came to me before he died. He trusted I would speak if he couldn't." Moses opened the envelope. Inside was a list of names, not just the minister and Onabanjo, but a journalist too. His own name, Moses Afolayan. "What is this?" he whispered. Father Dominic sighed. "They've been using your credentials to move classified documents. Mr. Afolayan, you've been their cover." Moses' mind spun. "Someone from my office." A mocker's voice trembled. "Moses, it's John, his best friend, editor, and mentor, the one who helped him get the original tip." That night, Moses arranged a secret meeting with John at the abandoned warehouse, the same place where Counselor Chuka's body was found. John arrived in a green suit, holding a cigarette and looking weary. "You look terrible." "Moses, you're making noise where you shouldn't." Moses glared. "You set me up. You gave them my ID. You sent me to the warehouse that night." Dealey exhaled smoke. "You don't understand, boy. This city eats people who try to save it. I was just trying to survive. You watched them kill Chuka." Moses shouted. "I watched him betray us." John replied coldly. "He wanted to leak everything. The minister promised to clean Lagos. And you were supposed to help write that story." He pulled a pistol from his jacket. "Give me the flash drive, and maybe I'll let you live long enough to write your apology." Before Moses could move, a gunshot echoed, but not from Dealey. John gasped, clutching his chest. He fell. Behind him stood a mocker, holding a trembling pistol. "You were never going to let him go," she said, her voice shaking. Moses knelt beside John as he bled out. John smiled faintly. "You can't stop it. Moses, the minister, he owns everything." Then he was gone. Later, as they drove through the dark streets, a mocker whispered, "We have enough evidence now. Let's end this." Tunde nodded. "We leak it all at once, live broadcast, every file, every recording." He stared out the window at the city lights. "If I die doing this, at least the truth won't die with me." The night Lagos burned, it didn't burn with fire, it burned with truth. Screens flickered in cafes, offices, and homes across the city. Every news outlet buzzed with one breaking headline. Project Renewal exposed, minister and advisors linked to murder, money laundering, and cover-up. But behind the revelation stood one man, Moses Afolayan, the journalist who refused to stay silent. It was 2:15 a.m. in a hidden studio in Ijegunal. Rain pounded the roof as Moses and Amoka prepared the final upload. They had hacked into 3 national news servers. Once the video went live, there would be no taking it down. "You ready?" Amoka asked, her hands trembling over the keyboard. Moses nodded. "Let's make the city listen." He faced the camera, blooded, exhausted, but steady. "My name is Moses Afolayan. I'm a journalist. I've spent weeks running, hiding, bleeding, all because I wanted to tell you the truth." He paused, breathing deeply. Councillor Chuka was murdered because he tried to expose a fake government project, one that stole billions, meant for our communities. The people behind it include Minister Adebayo and his advisor, Dr. Lydia Onabanjo. "I have evidence. You will see everything now." Amoka hit send. The files, videos, documents, audio recordings began streaming live across every platform. Within minutes, the internet exploded. Hashtags trended. Crowds began gathering at government buildings. The Silent City had finally found its voice. But as the world watched, black SUVs screeched to a halt outside the studio. Armed men poured out, led by Dr. Lydia Onabanjo herself, face hard, eyes burning with fury. "He actually did it," she muttered. Inside, Amoka screamed as the doors burst open. Moses grabbed her hand and ran toward the back exit again. The same rain, the same fear, but this time he was done running. They reached the rooftop. The lagoon shimmered below, the sirens echoing from afar. Lydia appeared behind them, gun in hand. "You destroyed everything," she shouted. "No," Moses said calmly. "I just showed them what you really built." She aimed at him, but Amoka pushed him aside as the shot rang. Moses caught her before she fell. Blood spread across her white shirt. "Stay with me, Amoka, please." "Moses," she whispered weakly. "At least they'll know now. We did it." Her eyes closed. The rain fell harder, washing the blood from his hands. By dawn, the scandal had exploded beyond control. The minister and Dr. Lydia Onabanjo were arrested while attempting to flee through the airport. John's name was revealed in the leaked documents as one of the handlers. Crowds gathered outside the National Assembly, chanting, "No more silence, no more lies." Moses, though hailed as a hero, couldn't celebrate. He attended Amoka's burial under a quiet sky. Her grave was marked with a single line she once said to him, "Truth is louder than bullets." As he placed his old press badge beside the flowers, his phone buzzed, an unknown number. He hesitated, then answered. "Mr. Afolayan," a calm male voice said. "You did well, but you only exposed one city. Are you ready to uncover the next?" Moses looked up at the horizon. The city wasn't silent anymore, but he knew corruption never truly died. It only changed its face. He smiled faintly. "Send me the file," he said. "The truth doesn't rest."